The action I'm taking today will eliminate federal overreach, restore economic freedom, and allow our companies and our workers to thrive, compete, and succeed on a level playing field for the first time in a long time, fellas. It's been a long time. I am taking historic steps to lift the restrictions on American energy, to reverse government intrusion, and to cancel job-killing regulations.
All right, that was President Trump speaking earlier today after keeping yet another campaign promise by signing a new energy independence executive order that will roll back the Obama administration's energy regulations. Here with reaction, the Environmental Protection Agency Administrator Scott Pruitt is with us. You know,
hi, Sean.
Sir, I have been saying for years we have all this natural gas and coal and oil underneath our feet, and we are begging countries that hate us for our energy, the lifeblood of our economy. Explain what this executive order will do and what it means for America's goal towards energy independence.
Sean, what a great day at the EPA today. The President, as you indicated, came to our agency and signed an executive order, and how wonderful it was to see a collection of coal miners from across the country stand behind the President as he signed that executive order, because it was a message across the country that we're going to do exactly what you said, Sean. Make sure that we are good stewards of the natural resources that we've been blessed with as a country, but actually harvest and use those natural resources to bless the American people. And so it's a great day to make sure that we send a very pro-growth, pro-environment message, and that's what started today with the President's executive order.
All right, let me, you know, it's very interesting because if you listen to the left, especially Al Gore, now this is the same Al Gore, sir, that I caught on a Gulfstream 3, which is one of the least energy efficient models of private aircraft in the sky. Then he'd get off with only 2 people, seats 15 or 16. He got off the plane into his private limo, so I guess he bought carbon offsets. But he recently suggested the civil war in Syria and Brexit are caused by climate change. How do you answer this insanity?
Well, I mean, I think that's a key word, Sean. There's been a lack of common sense, a lack of sanity with respect to how we've done regulations in this country for the last several years. And, you know, until this past administration, the Environmental Protection Agency worked with states across the country to advance an environmental agenda that was about clean air and clean water, but it also understood that we didn't need to be antagonistic to economic growth and jobs. You know, since 1980, Sean, we've seen a 65% reduction in pollutants across this country, air pollutants, while at the same time growing an economy. So it was this past administration that made us put on jerseys. It was this past administration that said, if you're pro-environment, you're anti-energy. If you're pro-energy, you're anti-environment. The president is saying, we're going to reject that narrative. We're going to have a different path forward. We're going to be pro-growth and pro-jobs and pro-environment and get back to the core EPA originalism, if you will, Sean, the core mission of the agency. Advancing air quality, advancing water quality, but doing so with a sensitivity to creating jobs.
Sir, many years ago, I was a contractor, and I bought an old Providence Gas Company van. It was the best $200 I ever spent in my life. It did have some body damage, but I fixed that myself. I was able to do it. It was a vehicle that had run, this is back in the early 80s, that used to be run on natural gas. And it runs cleaner, as I understand it, than, for example, gasoline. And we have more than the entire Middle East has oil combined. Do you see America maybe moving towards natural gas-run vehicles? How much would the average American save, and how many jobs would be created?
I think that's happening. We're in the process of that technological revolution, if you will, Sean. You know, what the president did today that I think was very key is he declared an end to the war on coal. He declared an end to the war on fossil fuels. He recognized that we've been blessed as a nation with natural gas, oil, coal, renewables, nuclear, and the rest. And we're going to make sure that we use all forms of energy to generate electricity so that we can grow our manufacturing base. But as you indicated, Sean, giving consumers the option, you know, with respect to fuel efficiency and choosing vehicles that are run on natural gas. But we need to have a focus, a renewed focus, you know, with hydraulic fracturing and horizontal drilling, making sure we take advantage of natural gas, but also the coal industry and the rest. The last administration picked winners and losers.
Yeah, well, they did. And how many millions of jobs will be created, do you think, if we go with this all-the-above strategy? Because energy is the lifeblood of any economy. How many years would it take America to become fully energy independent? And how many jobs would be created if we keep clean coal and natural gas and drilling and maybe even nuclear at some point? And by the way, new developments and new technologies that emerge as well.
You know, when you think about it, Sean, the announcement last week with the Keystone Pipeline, you know, so what's great about what the president did today is it's going to unleash the American spirit with respect to energy innovation in the transportation network, in exploration and production.
Can you guess how many millions of jobs might be created?
You know,
you can't.
You know, the we really can't, because the manufacturing base that's going to be reinvigorated. We're going to keep these jobs in this country. And again, the coal miners that were at the EPA today, as they heard the president speak, they were very emotional because their industry has been under assault for the last several years. And so for the first time in a long time, Sean, when you talk about optimism, there's optimism and hope that we're going to create jobs across all sectors of the economy because of what the president did today.
Sir, this is a big day.
It's a good day.
I bet people won't pay as much attention. This may be probably the single biggest jumpstart to the economy up to date that the president did. A huge win. And you'll come under fire, but don't worry. I'm sure the civil war in Syria and Brexit is not a result of climate change. Thank you for being with us.
Thanks, Sean.